Ladies, gentlemen, here with a quick video letting you know about some major changes coming to GTA Online within the next 2 weeks. First and foremost, next week on April 20th, the license plate creator will be making its way back into GTA Online. As some of you might remember, this used to be a feature of the now discontinued iFruit app, but finally you'll be able to create up to 30 custom plates by just going on the desktop or mobile web browsers and you just pick whatever you want and apply the plate into your game. How all that stuff works, etc. I'll be sure to make a video on it next week. But the biggest change is arguably going to be the week after. On April 27th, Rockstar is changing the prices of several vehicles within the game. Yes, including the Oppressor Mk2. To spoil the surprise here, the Oppressor Mk2 will have its price more than doubled. The buy it now price for the Oppressor Mk2, and hold your horses, is going to be $8 million! Yes, you heard that right. $8 million for an Oppressor Mk2. The fun doesn't stop there with the baffling changes that they are doing. Let's get into it. The armored box fill will now be $1.3 million. The Akula will go from 2.7 to 4.5. The Granger 3600 LX is going to go from 1.4 to $2 million. The Scramjet goes from 3.5 to 4 million. The Champion goes from 3 million to 3.75 million, which is utterly baffling considering the fact that for $250,000 more you get rockets, a jump, and lock-on missiles. A vastly superior vehicle in the Scramjet. The Champion, the only thing it's got going for it is the fact that it has Imani tech. And that's it. Wouldn't you want to balance the game where people are more inclined to be able to protect themselves versus stuff like the Oppressor and like the Scramjet? Because other than the fact it has Imani tech, it's an utterly useless vehicle because it's not that fast. Maybe because Dr. Dre drives it, but that's really about it. Anyways, moving on. The Chernobog goes from $3.3 million to 1.5. The Deluxo goes from 4.7 million to 5.75 million, which is pretty understandable. The Ruiner 2000 goes from 5.7 million to 3.75 million, $2 million less. Keep in mind this is the buy it now price, so the trade-in will be even cheaper. The Thruster goes from 3.6 to 2.5 million. The Chula goes from 5.1 million to 4.1 million, another million off. The Stromberg goes from 3.2 to 2.5 million. The original Oppressor actually gets reduced in price from 3.5 to 2.75. The Toreador gets an increase from 2.6 to 4.2 million dollars, which is baffling considering the fact that the Stromberg is a much worse vehicle and you would probably still be better off getting a Toreador. I don't quite understand this one. It's a very powerful and useful vehicle, but they already banned it from using in heists, so I guess. The weaponized Ignis goes from $3.2 million to $4.5 million bucks, which is baffling to me considering it doesn't have anything powerful other than a relatively useless machine gun. It doesn't have Imani tech, and all you can do with it is go fast in HSW races if you do apply the upgrades for them. Why this has to cost more than $1 million more doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It's not that good of a vehicle, other than the fact you can drive it fast in races. And finally, the Bambushka goes from $5.9 million to $4.75 million. Still way too high for a vehicle that is just in dire need of rebalancing and overall is not that good at all. While on paper this list is nice, it doesn't fix the inherent problem of the game, the imbalance with the vehicles. Something like an Oppressor Mk2 is still a problem within many ways, but I don't think there's an awful lot they can do still about it in order to fix it. So Rockstar's band-aid fix for this is doubling the price of the vehicle, so newer players will have a more difficult time getting the vehicle after constantly getting blown up by it. $8 million for an Oppressor Mk2 just means that the people that want to be an asshole will have to wait a little bit longer until you can decide to do so. This doesn't fix anything. All it does is make shit more expensive and have desired vehicles take longer to acquire, or have to bust out credit cards and wallets. Because, you know, Timmy still has a mom and a dad that don't actually love him very much, but still very much would like to show appreciation of the fact that the kid hasn't run away from home yet. So, shark cards are a good way of doing so. Sarcasm and jokes aside, there are definitely a long list of vehicles that could do also with these kind of adjustments, and not just armored stuff. Because, you know, there's definitely racing vehicles out there that are way too expensive for the performance that you get. And actually, Proto costing $3 million nowadays doesn't really fly all that much anymore. So the list of this could be and should be a whole lot longer. Now, they're also saying that there's going to be even further potential adjustments as well as rebalancing of certain aerial vehicles to help protect the bystanders in free mode. It's nearly 10 years after the release of the game, and Rockstar is finally now deciding to actually bother to start rebalancing the game. While for GTA Online it is too little too late, I would say that it does give me a little bit of hope that Rockstar is finally deciding that maybe it's a good idea to not leave your game completely unbalanced and completely abandoned and actually bother to do something about it. Consider it like good practice for GTA 6 Online's version when it finally comes out. Hopefully Rockstar will continue to take the feedback in the right way, and I'll be sure to provide them with all the feedback that they so desperately desire in upcoming videos and more. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, let me know all your juicy and wonderful thoughts in the comments below, because I'm sure this won't be a dumpster fire. And you know, if you like what you see in the channel, become a member like Chloe and GTA Plus. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.
Capitalism is a dirty business.